One of our biggest episodes of the Ajax save so far. Round of 16 against Juventus. We're going to see both legs this episode, as well as a semi-final. Join me for this one. Hello everyone, this is Frank, and to be frank with you, this is another episode of Ajax Assembled. I'm very happy to have you join me. Isn't much for me to show you, honestly. We've only had one game in between, but we're going to mix up the formula. I'll show you the penalty that Marcus Edwards just scored against Valvik. Heavily rotated team, as you'll see. That being said, we've got a Champions League to play here. Going to mix up the format. I want to get to the bigger games, and I also want to wrap this one up. Honestly, I need to start my longer project. We need to start our long-term save, shall we call it? And I still am deciding what to do. I've got a few ideas now, though. I'm not going to put like a poll out there. Honestly, I don't think there's enough people to answer and let me know. But I'm going to make a decision. It's going to be a lower league save, obviously. So look forward to a bigger project. I'm going to mix up the format today. Going to play some games off camera in between. We're going to get to the big highlights. Obviously, first game straight away is away at Juventus. Going to be very important. We're going to play the semi-final against Twente, and then I'll show you the return leg. So we're going to be playing some big hitters. The league games I will update you in between, but probably just briefly go over it. If you look at the league, we're still 2 points clear of final. They are really keeping up with us. Obviously, if things get tight in the race, we'll stop and we'll have a little look at some of the games, obviously. But hopefully, we can continue our form, keep winning, and everything will be good. Either way, I will join you back for the Juventus game, and we will start this episode with probably one of our biggest games we played on this save. Away from home first as well. Being at home for the second leg gives me a bit more confidence, but we've got to stay in the game, try and get a positive result. I believe, did we play them in our first season? I think we did. Check. We did in the group. We beat them at home 3-0 and we drew away 2-2. So we've got a good record against Juventus. Let's see if we can continue it in the game. One moment. And here we are. The team more or less picked itself. However, I might make the call to play Sanchez, but I am unsure whether to do it or not. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with it. Oh, do I? I don't know. I really don't know. Lunin's been solid. He is our number one. But Sanchez, I think on paper, is a better keeper. Let's compare them together and find out. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? I mean, good at different things. I mean, both the same passing. Lunin tends to punch more. He's a bit better reflexes. But then obviously some of the areas here, he's like more flair for Sanchez, which is not necessarily a good thing. But obviously he's got the height on him. He's got the jumping reach. You know what? We're just going to play Lunin. I'm happy with it. Let's go with it. Team is Lunin, Bassi, Akanji, Timber, Wrench, João Gomez, Blind, Oscar Gluck, João Pedro, Sheldrup, and Robbie. We'll start with that team and we'll see where we are after about 60 minutes and probably make a few changes. But big game. We'll go through that team as well, and we'll let this little thing pop up. Wow, they got Kulusevski. Wow, we obviously didn't activate our clause or whatever. I don't know. Busquets. That's interesting. Slightly older Juve team. Though. I've just got to check Kulusevski because I'm really confused about that. Why would they not? Okay, so Tottenham didn't activate their buy option for what was it, like 22 million or something like that, and now he's worth like 140. That just doesn't make sense financially, does it? I don't get that at all. Oh, wow. João Pedro's picked up an injury. That's fantastic. Locatelli, Dusan Vlahovic, Busquets. Unreal to see that. Chiesa, though. Down the wing, looking dangerous. In the box now. He's got space. It's a good save. Kulusevski. Vlahovic is going to just tap into an empty net. They're calling for offside, but I think that's a goal. I don't imagine he's going to be offside. It looked like we had someone on the line, if anything, but I'm expecting this goal to be confirmed. It's disallowed. What? Offside? I'll need to see a replay of that to generally understand what happened. But what's going on then? Okay. I don't know. I still didn't understand what happened there, but I'm just going to ignore that. It's a good result for us, that being disallowed, so we'll just shut up and take that. Nice bit of UEFA corruption. It's in the game. as well as the license, we've got the corruption in. That's a bit negative. That's really negative. I didn't mean that. We love UEFA and their great decisions. Look at Tottenham and Sporting. That offside goal we scored. Sheldrup blocked away. Robbie, João Pedro on the volley. He scored away at Juventus. João Pedro let it drop, hit it with his left foot. He's volleyed it into the bottom left-hand corner. The keeper is absolutely rooted. What a finish that is. Showed with all the good work. Good block from, I don't know who that was, Bremer. But João Pedro done a Paulo Di Canio there. He's let it drop, he's volleyed it, and it's just flew in. Chesney in goal. Can't get anything near it. What a goal. And we've played well. If you look at the stats, we've controlled the game. They've only had that one disallowed goal and actually one shot other than that. But we're doing really well and we're controlling the game. We've dominated possession, apparently. I didn't see the actual stat. 66%. We are recycling the ball like a prime Ajax team should away from home against a big team. Reminiscent of the famous run where obviously they lost to Tottenham in the semi, but they completely battered a few teams there. Dusan threw on goal there. We can't speak too much. It's going to go to VAR again. But again, I think that one's onside. But I was wrong the first time, so I'm happy to see what they say. I think that's a goal, though, that one. Oh, it's disallowed again. I thought that was on again. Wow, that must be like... Oh, it's off. Fair play. I didn't see it. I'm glad I'm not a linesman. I've got 2 wrong already. 2 goals disallowed for Dusan Vlahovic. He must be absolutely fuming with just everything right now. We're up to the 60th minute. João Pedro is a bit hampered by his injury, as it says over there. So I'm going to bring on Marcus Edwards. And I'll probably leave it. Devin Wrench also looking a bit tired. So I'll change the right back and right wing. A bit more pace down that right-hand side now with Edwards and Estevez, who really do play well together. And when I do typically play them, they are together because I'm rotating the team. Might just throw on, now that we're in the 74th minute, Eber up top. Just because Robbie's been really quiet. And he's looking a bit unfit anyway. He's not looking great. And he's playing a 6.3. So we'll bring on famous Zlatan, 42, nearly 43, I think, in game now, for an appearance with the last few minutes of this important crunch game in the Champions League. And there's a highlight late on, which is not what you want to see when you've got a 1-goal lead. Danilo swings in. Estevez. Oh, he's beaten to the ball by Juan Bernat, but he's headed over the bar. And that could be it for this game. We'll just throw on Reguilón to waste a bit of time. And there's another late highlight. Chiesa, Danilo, Bassi with a tackle. Oh, Chiesa's going to get it. Oh, he'll be missing the second leg. He's off. It's a second yellow card for Federico Chiesa. And he's got a red, which is fantastic because he can't play the home leg against us now, I believe, with that result. And it's 1-0 away. Get in. What a result that is. I'm sorry there wasn't many highlights. We've just got an achievement. What's that? You're on fire. 10 games in a row we've won. Thoroughly deserved, though. Pedro's got a 1-day injury. Oh, come on. You could have stayed on, surely. How could they hamper you that much? a sore wrist. I've had plenty of those. Oh, that sounds dodgy. Either way. Next game will be the semi-final against FC23. And we'll play that. Then we'll come back for the second leg of Juventus. Obviously, a few league games in between. Anything noteworthy, I will tell you, of course. But I'll join you back for the FC20 game. Not to be forgotten, we're back for the Dutch Cup now, the semi-final. Hold on, I must show you what happened in between. We did draw with the Vitesse. Bit of a weird game, really. We were behind both times, but our right back and our defensive mid ran forward to get us the goals in this one. So it just wasn't to be in terms of... I don't know, just attacking wise, looking a bit stunted. But do you know what? I'll forgive them. We had a big Champions League game midweek, and obviously it just affected us very clearly. We just weren't great. Thankfully, final drew as well, so we maintain our 2-point gap over them currently. I mean, that being said, we can't afford too many more draws, obviously, or we're going to open the door for them to come in and just nick it completely. Either way, more positive thoughts. We've got 20 now. The team is pretty much as it was. We'll probably play Sanchez just with mind on that game against, and we'll play Stroikens as well. I know it's a semi-final, but I'm gonna rotate a little bit, play Edwards and stuff, because we've got the team to do it. Yeah, maybe Bargy instead of Edwards and put Edwards out on the left instead, and we'll play. We'll leave. To be fair, Gluck is in between playing centre attacking mid and playing. Like, he's kind of dipping in for Kudus currently, so it's a bit of... I don't know whether to drop him or call him a youth player or not, really, because he's kind of halfway house at the moment, where he is and where he should be, possibly. But go for a bit of a rotated team. I know it's a semi-final, but I'm confident we can get the job done. I don't know where we're actually playing. Where are we playing? No idea. We'll figure that out after. It's probably 20. I don't know how Holland works with its cup rules. If it's a semi, it's usually at Wembley if it's England, but I don't know if they have a rule like that there at all, honestly. Yao Gomez, Kudus, Robbie, Rooney, Bargy on the wing now. Rare start for him. Robbie volleyed down. Edwards. Oh, I thought we could do better there, but he's done better. I thought we could do better, and he has done better. He's nicked the ball back after giving it away so sloppily, and he's hammered it into the top left corner. 1-0 in the semi-final. Exactly what we want to see. I thought he was a bit loose with that pass then, but Brennett tried to muck around with it. Joshua Brennett, I believe that is. And Edwards has just absolutely slammed it in. He's getting a few more goals now into his game, which is great, obviously, the signing from Lisbon. And no, I've been happy with his contribution. Obviously, it's very hard to come into a pretty settled team like we were. But I think with the sale of Gonzalez, we need more from him. We do need more from him. He needs to be, I mean, that was a very high level to attain, but we expect him to do it. And Robbie really should put us 2-0 up there. He's through on goal. Kefren Turam, who's back from injury, I think he missed the first leg, then played in his place. But you expect Robbie to score there, which is just upsetting sometimes because he goes through patches of just being absolutely unreal, as you saw last episode. I think in between recording, he was scoring every other game. And is that going to be a penalty? No, that's not a penalty. Come on, overturn that. I don't think he's actually... I think he's got the ball fair and square. Come on. He's reviewing it. He's looking at it. If they look, they usually give a pen. But I'll be surprised. What's he doing? No penalty. I love that. Get in. Good decision. I agree. I didn't think it was a pen either. I thought that was really harsh. Bindal on the throw-in now. Kefren. João Gomez. Udas got time to turn. He couldn't though. João Gomez, Vindal, over the top, looking for Brobby, but he's not there. But Prop has made an absolute mess of it. But so is Brobby again. It's the second big chance Brian Brobby has missed. Come on, Brian. What are you doing? If we're going to go far in the Champions League, we need some clinical man up front. And he's not being that today. But he will have his chance in the second half. I'm not going to just throw Uber on just out of spite. We're going to give him a few minutes. I think I will turn to, if we go 2 up, I might be able to. Robbie there. I thought he was going to win that and score. It shut me up, but sadly not to be. Evan Ndicka, Akanji, João Gomez, Ndicka, Timber. Rooney Bargy can get to it, and he has done. He spun, played a ball in for Brobby, and he scored. That's exactly what we want to see. Bargy and Brobby is just going to be some type of combination. I don't think I'll be playing this save too much further once I get into my longer-term save, but obviously you don't need me to tell you. If you're an ardent football manager player like myself, who Rooney Bargy is, if you played last year, he becomes an absolute superstar. Buy him this year if you don't know who he is. He's very cheap. He was last year's Shelderup, who everyone signs basically. And as well, do you know what? That's why I'm kind of excited to play a lower league save. I feel like I'm already bored of people like Shelderup. I know the game's been out, well, technically out a few days, but it's been out beta for a couple of weeks. You understand when you make videos or when you share saves with mates and you just all sign the same players usually. That's why it gets a bit boring. I like Wonder Kid lists, but you probably won't see me doing them. Feel free to clip it and call me an absolute hypocrite when I do get around to it, but I don't think I'll do lists like that. I'm not really in it for I make tactic videos because I like sharing ideas and different stuff like that, but I've never made a sign these players, etc. And I don't know if I will. I'm not going to say I won't, but it'd have to be different from what I've seen because they're all the same players recycled and again. I like some of the cheap ones where people say, "Oh, cheap one gets a sign," and so on and so on. And I'm not criticising any form of content. You can enjoy whatever you enjoy, but I love knowing less about football. As someone who watches every game and stuff, I do know a relatively fair amount. I'm a bit of an encyclopedia. I could probably tell you any first name of any footballer. I've got that just in the database somewhere, and I don't know why. It's just a weird talent of mine. So as little as I know about the next Wonder Kids, I much prefer if I could find Joe Root on my own or someone like that this game, and just I don't want to know that he's been signed by everyone under the sun. I prefer him to be mine. It's a personal thing. I share with you. It's like exploring with me. Either way, we won 2-0. We scored that second goal quite early in the second half, and that was it. And we'll be playing FC Groningen in the final in April. So I've got a bit of a wait to get to that game. It'll probably be next episode, the Dutch Cup final, which is interesting. Either way, we've got some business to take care of in the league. And then we'll be back for the Juventus second leg. Going to be important, and a big place in the quarter-final awaits us. We have a look at a couple of the scores of the first legs. Nothing really sticks out to me too much there, but let's do our job first and worry about, worry about the quarterfinal when we get there. Back to you in 2 seconds. Here we are, the day of judgment. Juventus away. That's away. We've played them away at home. Second leg though, important thing to go through. And worth noting, another 2 clean sheets on top of the clean sheet against in obviously 20. We can't have conceded many goals this year, and it's worth just checking now. I know Feyenoord have scored bloody loads actually. We conceded 10. So do you know what? We haven't scored that many goals, have we? We've only got 48 goals. We're 10 behind Feyenoord. But do you know what? We don't concede. And the people who don't concede usually win the title. And that's been us this year. Another couple of goals in both games here. Kudus and Brobby set us on our way against Roda, who then got 2 men sent off in the second half, which kind of allowed us to kind of sit back and do what we want. And then Herenveen played a very rotated team. Alessio Bessio scored. If you remember him, I signed him. He's the man with the wonderful name. He spent a season basically this year on loan at Volendam. Only got 5 appearances, so we recalled him at the age of 20 because he kind of needs to play football to progress. But threw him in for this game, and he scored, bless him. So, do you know what? If we do get a hand on his title, he's done well there. Oscar Glue got the second goal as well from the penalty spot, who's having a cracking season. But another 2 clean sheets. This back 4 of ours is just absolutely superb, honestly. And changes to inverted wing backs have just helped massively. It's usually this is what we play with: Timber, Akanji, and Dicker and Wrench, or Bassi on left back as well. It really does depend. But yeah, absolutely mental so far, and they've been fantastic. And just we don't concede many. 10 all season is absolute mad. And the Champions League we've also done pretty well as well. Either way, this is the day of judgment. We've got to play Juventus now, and we are here. So we've got a 1-goal lead going into this game. Obviously, going to be hard, but I don't know what to do really. I'm quite happy with the team actually. That it's literally just quick picked. João Pedro coming up top, which is a bit peculiar, but I assume Brobby's injured. He is actually. I didn't realise. He's away for 2 days. Bornau's still got that damaged spine, but he's still going to be 4 to 7 weeks. He's not played all season, basically. Well, he did for the start of it, but been a big miss. He's really one of our best centre-backs, and he's a bit of a colossus, but going to be, hopefully he'll be back next year, but not sure. Obviously, could look to part ways with him. He's worth a fair whack, and you never really recover after a damaged spine, I'd think, as a centre-back anyway, would you? I don't know. Either way, we'll go with this team, and we'll see where we go from there. It's nice to see a few green arrows. Not green arrows, that's long gone from Football Manager. The green links appear. Chiesa can play this game, so I'm assuming that ban is not Champions League related. He just missed a game in the league, which is great for us, because I'd like to have not played him because he's an absolutely cracking player. Anyway, we've got to highlight straight away this game, and I'm imagining they're going to come out swinging. They need to score. Whatever they do, they need to score. Bonucci to Bremer. Paredes tries to spin. We're doing well though. We're pressing well. Cuadrado, Di Maria, Paredes over the top. Akanji will deal with that. Chiesa's nicked it though. Yeah, I thought Timber would look after that. He didn't. Into the back stick, and it's 1-0. And there's no VAR check on this time. We are 1-0 down within 5 minutes. I'm going to tell them just to calm down. Focus a bit maybe as well afterwards when I can. But it's a long searching ball from Chiesa. Vlahovic just freed himself up to head it in. And it's 1-0 on the night. There's a corner swung in. I thought it'd be 2-1 straight away. And Dicker clears. Reguilon now. Plays it to Locatelli. Can he spin and do anything with it? Juventus looking dangerous so far. Bonucci. Oh, he's tackled by João Gomez, but we can't get the ball. It's really unlucky. We were looking to break, but he can't get it. Oh, and Bremer's made an absolute mistake. João Pedro's through on goal. Oh, and it's just clipped the woodwork. No real pace into it, but they're making mistakes in that back 4 area. Cuadrado over a throw-in. Paredes. Cuadrado. Can he get a ball in? Can we stop him? We do. It's deflected. Lunin has to punch it away, though, and Timber does. Helps it on its way further, but a bit nervous at the back, it feels like. And again, just tend to focus. Hopefully they react to that nicely, but just calm down, boys. It's 20 minutes. You've still got plenty of game to play. Just play your normal game. Get into it. Bonucci heads clear. João Gomez headed down. Kudus. Thuram. Searching ball. Kudus. Oh, hits the bar. What an absolute rocket from Mohamed Kudus. But it doesn't go in. End of the highlight, sadly. We're over a free kick. Edwards is over it. Can he swing it in or will he shoot? He shoots, and Szczesny has to get a hand on it because that was going into the top left corner. What a free kick from Edwards. I'm going to give him some praise. Kudus swung in. Vlahovic headed away. Kulusevski. Hates seeing Kulusevski play for another team. It's weird. Lunin. Evelyn Dicker. The man we signed from Frankfurt. Running forward. João Gomez. Kudus. Out to Edwards. All over the top. Pedro. He's going to get to it. Will he score? He does. Get in. João Pedro restores our 1-goal lead on the aggregate scoreline there. And it's 1-0 on the night. But what a ball that was. Unbelievable little through ball there. Kudus in that pocket of space. Edwards looking for the run, and he saw it. The centre-backs from Juventus have been shocking all night, in my opinion. And João Pedro, playing instead of Brian Brobby, scores. The big money signing for us, João Pedro was, and he's been fantastic. He's been playing right wing a lot of the season. We've got an injury. Talking about playing right wing, I might have to switch him there now. Edwards has got a foot injury. That could be literally anything. We'll put Pedro on the right wing, and we'll bring on... Brobby's not made the bench, obviously, because he's injured. Do I bring on Ibra? Do I bring on Stroikens? Gluck, maybe? I'll leave Pedro up top, and we'll bring on Stroikens as a winger. Big game for Mario Stroikens, the Anderlecht youngster who we signed, but needs must. I might bring on Ibra later, then maybe take off Stroikens if he looks a bit out of his depth, but we'll give him a go. Quadrado's on the ball. Locatelli. Reguilon. Deflection. Lunin. Wow, calm down. What is that about? Just slaps it out for a corner. Come on. It took a big deflection, I know, but you can grab that, surely. Di Maria over the corner now. We head away, thankfully. I would have been absolutely fuming if we conceded from that. And it's offside. So our blushes are relieved because that was a pretty sloppy play from us. Shame Edwards came off because he was playing really well. Vlahovic is looking good, isn't he? How are we doing? Gomez on the yellow scaring me a bit. We'll bring on Blind in that defensive mid role. He can play it very well, and I'll bring him on there now. Scalvini's on for Juventus. They're making a few changes as well. They're mixing things around. Obviously, they need a goal. We crossed in. João Pedro, 2-1. Get in. That'll be us through. We are through. Oh, I shouldn't say it like that. I think we're through. João Pedro, 2 goals on the night. A man of the match performance. And I said they were looking for a goal. They're going to have to look for a couple more now, aren't they? Swung in from Timber. Pedro gets a glancing header on it. Just beats Szczesny in the goal there. And we're 2-0 up. 2-1 up on the night. 3-1 on aggregate. So they're going to need a couple of goals now to come back. No away goals anymore, obviously. So that away one doesn't help us too much. But we've still got a good scoreline over them. Danilo's got lots of space here, though. Should have done a lot better. Thankfully for us, he flies over the bar. They've made all their subs now. I will retaliate with a few of my own. We'll bring on Vinedal as more of a defensive winger because I know he can play there and he's relatively attacking. He's not terrible, but not great at finishing. So he'll be more attacking. We'll bring on Ibra just as someone to lump it up to. Honestly, we're trying to kill some time now in all respects. And might change Timber for Estevez, actually. That'll do. We'll make all our subs. They've made all of theirs. And we just need to see the game out now. We've played the game plan fantastically over both legs. I've been absolutely delighted. And it looks like we're going to win both games, which is a good statement to send to other teams in the quarterfinal. And we have done. 2-1. What a fantastic win. And a delightful episode to record because we won all 3 of our games and all important games. Edwards has a broken foot. So he's done. This season's over for him. So that really sucks. 6 goals and 7 assists so far for Edwards in about 27 appearances, but that really, really does suck. We'll send him to a specialist. He'll be out for 3 months, but that's not great, is it? He'll be missing the whole season now. We won't see him again. And we'll get to the draw. Let me just forward on a couple of days to the draw, and we'll see who we have and what we can plan, because we'll probably show both games of the semi-final in the next episode. I'm glad Ndicka's no longer worried about being replaced because he's starting every game, so I don't know. Chelsea are through after beating Milan, and PSG are through after beating Dortmund, but they struggled against them, so that gives me a bit of hope, just in case we do get them. I mean, not being funny, we've got to play the bigger teams now, haven't we? We're through, we're in the quarterfinals, so there's not going to be any small, weaker teams left, you'd think, but I mean, if anything, we've just dumped out Juventus, which is by no means a bad thing at all. But let's see who we get. We'll view the draw. We'll start the draw. We'll just go Liverpool. We'll play Leipzig, or PSG, Man City. That's a good draw. Barca, Ajax. It's meant to be. It's the Cruyff clash. Barcelona away. Obviously, I think that'll be our first leg. Will be away, and then Chelsea and Bayern Munich complete the draw. Barca, I'm slightly happy with. Let's see who we'd get. Obviously, we get the semi-final draw as well. Barca, Ajax would be Liverpool and Leipzig, and Chelsea and PSG. I'm quite happy with that. I feel like we've got the easiest side of the draw. We can sneak past Barca. Who knows? Anything can happen from there. But that's obviously a massive task, isn't it? Let's have a look at the schedule. Right. So next episode, I think I will treat you with the quarter-final first leg, the quarter-final second leg, and the Dutch Cup final. I think it's a good way to go out, and hopefully we can continue. This fairy tale can continue on. Let's not make it at the end. We're at home in the second leg again against Barca, but that's a bit of a task, isn't it? This is a Barca team with, I mean, the back four don't look great, but the midfield and up front look absolutely insane. So that's interesting. They've signed Renato Sanchez, the man who gets passed around by big clubs like I don't know what the analogy would be, but he just springs around everywhere. Either way, it's been a good episode. I thank you for joining me for it, and thank you for all the recent comments and likes and subscriptions. We're so close to 300 now. Since my last episode, we've gone up by about 15, and I think we need 10 or more to get to 300, and it would be a great milestone for me. So I'd appreciate if you're not subscribed. Please do so, and I'll join you for the quarterfinal, and I hope to see you there.